$3,000. That was a recurring line on one campus's bill because every sensor was streaming every 10 seconds to a vendor cloud. Dashboards started lagging, the help desk lit up, and nobody could say who was paying until operations had to scramble to find local logs. Welcome to Built, Wired, and Secured. I'm Alex Morgan. Today, we're digging into why connected building telemetry so often becomes a surprise cost and an operational headache, and what teams can do right away to take control.
I can picture that call. Operations gets the invoice, then the frantic pings. Where are the alerts? And everyone pointing at the cloud. Right away you ask, what breaks if this goes down?
Wait, blank dashboards or delayed alerts? What's the usual chain that makes that happen?
Usually it's simple. Sensors feed a controller or BAS that forwards to a vendor-hosted cloud for analytics and dashboards, and teams come to rely on that hosted view. But ownership fractures. Facilities install sensors, IT manages the network, vendors push cloud defaults, so nobody owns the cost line until it shows up.
Defaults are the quiet failure mode. A device ships with a cloud URI and demo sampling settings, and in production, those settings multiply into huge volumes. You need a gate at the edge, something that decides what to forward and at what cadence.
So in practice, that gate is either an on-site buffer, an edge processor, or rules on the device itself. Who usually owns setting those rules?
Answer: no one owns it consistently. Facilities think vendors set it. Vendors assume defaults are fine, and IT doesn't see the downstream cost until bills or tickets arrive. Operators notice first. The dashboards and alerts are what they use day to day.
Right, and those operational signals are what keep buildings running. James, you've run fixes that stopped surprise bills without ripping systems out. What did you actually change?
We added a lightweight edge buffer and adjusted sampling. High-resolution data stayed local for 72 hours. The cloud got 5-minute averages for trends. Volume dropped dramatically, and operations still had the detail they needed to triage incidents. Preventive maintenance beats emergency repairs. Simple changes, big wins.
And there's more than the raw bill. Include human cost. Support tickets, slow vendor support loops, onboarding time. Those are real operational costs that often get ignored in the vendor fee conversation.
I don't disagree. And to be fair, I've seen cloud analytics cut field tech time by 40%, but only when the playbook was defined up front. Who responds to which alert, how to access local fallbacks, and where high-res data lives. Without that playbook, the cloud just moves problems offshore.
That's the friction we need. Cloud can save time, but only if you pair it with operational controls. Let's dig into trade-offs. James, how do you decide whether processing and storage should live at the edge or in the cloud?
Ask 3 questions. Latency. Do you need millisecond responses or are minutes acceptable? Audience. Who uses the data? Local operators or central analysts? And ownership. Who pays and who fixes it? If you need immediate control loops, keep it local. If you want cross-site benchmarking, send aggregated or sample data to the cloud.
Exactly. And add one operational litmus. Can your staff access usable fallback dashboards when the vendor portal is slow or changed? If not, treat that as a critical risk in vendor selection.
Let's pause on a common surprise: egress fees and throttling. Michael, tell us a concrete case where that showed up and what it meant for operations.
A mid-size campus had wireless sensors sending 10-second readings to a vendor cloud. After months, the finance team flagged a recurring $3,000 monthly line for data egress and API calls. More damaging, during peak loads, the vendor throttled data for certain tenants, so dashboards lagged and operators were flying blind at critical moments.
We cut that by changing what we sent, aggregated trends to the cloud, high-res locally for a short window. Also throttled non-auctionable telemetry. Status heartbeats went from 5 seconds to 10 minutes in steady state. It sounds extreme, but it saved bandwidth and attention.
Love that. Small policy moves, big operational wins. Now, I want one real bit of friction here. Vendors sometimes resist providing exportable data or local access. Michael, how should teams handle that in negotiations without asking for pricing specifics?
Insist on data portability and local access as a baseline. If a vendor resists, flag it as a risk. Require contractual language for exportable data and safe exits. Convenience is fine, but you need control when the product or pricing changes.
And pilot first. Test defaults in a small area. Measure volumes, confirm alert usefulness, then scale. A short pilot surfaces the real operational costs without committing the whole site.
Okay, let's end with 3 things someone in facilities or IT can do in the next 30 days to avoid surprises.
1. Run a 30-minute cross-functional data flow review. Bring facilities, IT, and your vendor rep into one call. Map what data exists, where it goes, and who bears the cost. That single alignment prevents a lot of surprises.
2. Set retention and sampling policies. Keep high-res locally for a short window and send aggregated or sampled data to the cloud. You can often cut volumes by an order of magnitude without losing the ability to act.
And 3.
Clarify escalation and SLAs for vendor-hosted dashboards. Require local fallback views and data exportability so visibility doesn't vanish when a vendor changes features or pricing.
Small bonus, throttle non-actionable telemetry. That heartbeat example is low effort and high impact. Policy, not hardware, fixed it.
If you take nothing else away, map your data flows, set local retention and sampling rules, and make sure someone owns the bill and the fallback. Download our 1-page decision checklist and run that 30-minute review this week. Built to last, wired with intention, secured for the real world.
Thanks, Alex. Keep the focus on operational outcomes. Ask who fixes it when it breaks.
Thanks. Short pilots and simple policies will get you farther than a big architecture rewrite.
That wraps up this episode of Built, Wired, and Secured. Today we looked at how telemetry flows can become both operational and financial surprises, and the practical steps teams can take to avoid them. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us. Until next time, make sure the systems you're responsible for are built to last, wired with intention, and secured for the real world.